What I love about the counseling group specifically is that it's the best of an agency feel and private practice.
The thing that attracted me to working here within the counseling group is I work with many other therapists, and so we work collaboratively. We each have our own specialties that we are experts in.
At the counseling group, we are running at about 50 therapists, 50, which I'm very, very proud of and feel very blessed.
Clients of the counseling group get not only the counselor that you're working with, but they get the shared knowledge of all of the counselors working together to help their clients. My role within the counseling group is helping to bring technology to those therapists so that they can better serve their community.
We have a central intake system, and it dovetails the client and the client's needs with the therapist that would best suit their needs, so that hopefully the match is the best for them to get the best service.
My main area of focus started off being adolescents, but it's now evolving where I'm helping parents parenting their teens, and I'm doing an awful lot of work with millennials and also older people who are in transition. Helping people navigate that transitional piece is what I tend to focus on.
I tend to work with young adults, so between 18 and 40. Probably the majority of my practice is men, probably about 70% is men. So I like working through all the crisis events of what am I going to do with my life, what kind of a career, meeting a special someone, getting married, maybe having kids. I love working through all of those intense times in life.
The counseling group really does cover the broad range of services and issues that people deal with. Of course, we get a lot of anxiety coming in the door, depression, grieving, people working through transitions in their life, whether it's retirement or loss or changing family dynamics, those sorts of things.
I'm quite passionate about addictions work and about trauma therapy, and they're also often quite connected. They're usually people who have problems with addictions typically have something that's traumatic that's happened to them, and so addictions can often be, substances can often be a way of coping with those feelings associated with whatever their trauma is.
The way we think can feed anxiety and depression. So, and then there's just simple awareness. So there's the cognitive, and then there's just the process. So it depends on what a person's needs are. If they're dealing with immediate anxiety, well then the short-term cognitive behavioral works. But if they're life issues, if they're trying to, especially in later life, when we look at our own mortality, the importance of life becomes all that more significant. So it's no longer a matter of looking back, it becomes a matter of looking forward. So how do we want to define ourselves? This is not short-term therapy, this is long-term therapy. So, and it's a conversation. It's a conversation that we have.
My main areas of interest include anxiety, depression, and trauma. Really looking at individuals and seeing why they're stuck, what's preventing them from moving forward, and really tailoring my approach to meet their needs, to help them take that one step forward. I deal with in my practice, I deal with anything from motor vehicle accidents to physical and sexual abuse to traumatic experiences that an individual may face. And I help them understand their trauma and see how we can help them move forward as well.
What I like about working at the counseling group is the kind of environment and culture that Jen and Nadine have created. For me, counseling is not just about the work done with the client and the therapist, but it's also about the total context in which the work occurs.
My areas of interest in practice range broadly, but definitely include the areas of sexual health, relationships. I love working with teenagers, but I also love working with the elderly as well. We're getting more and more elderly people coming in these days with our aging population, so it's nice to have the variety.
To come into an environment that is more than just a clinical environment, where there's a sense of respect for the people who work there and respect for the clients who come in my experience, begins to contribute to the healing even before the client comes in to work with the therapist.
I seem to be gravitating more and more towards working with men. Men are not encouraged as much to find connection and to create safe spaces where men can be real and open and trusting with their inner lives. So my interest is in creating that space for men.
I work a lot with people with, who've experienced various types of trauma, anything from childhood trauma, adult depression, anxiety, and then working with couples as well. I do a lot of work with couples, and sometimes couples that have experienced trauma. And anyone that really just wants to grow beyond where they are. I mean, I love that too. It doesn't have to be all heavy stuff. I certainly enjoy helping people transition in work or self-esteem, kind of addressing some of those issues.
What I want to encourage people to know is that in a confidential, safe process, it's often actually easier than talking to the people that are in your life. You want somebody that's going to have a completely neutral outside perspective that can really help you walk through the issues, and they're not attached to the outcome. They're just there with you, trying to help you through it without their own agenda attached to it.